Namaste. Welcome to German language lesson 12. Let us see what I have brought to you today in this episode. So in this episode, I am continuing with some general expressions which I had taken up in the last episode also. So this is a part 2 of that, a few of them. Apart from that, getting acquainted and in the class. So how do we say these things in German? Lektion 12. Einige allgemeine Ausdrücke, Teil 2. Kennenlernen in der Klasse. So let us continue with einige allgemeine Ausdrücke. These are some expressions which are in continuation with the previous episode. Ich habe es eilig. Ich habe es eilig. I'm in a hurry. Ich bin fertig. I'm finished. Ich habe frei. I have free time. Ich habe es eilig. Ich bin fertig. Ich habe frei. So when you are in a hurry, you should use the expression Ich habe es eilig. When you are done with some work, then you would say Ich bin fertig. And Ich habe frei is when you have free time. Please don't use this frei as just a simple free, because generally in our terms we use free for many other situations also in English. For them you have different words. Next, Ich bin müde. Ich bin müde. I am tired. Ich bin todmüde. Ich bin todmüde. I am dead tired. I am dead tired. Ich bin erschöpft. Ich bin erschöpft. I am exhausted. I am exhausted. Ich bin müde. Ich bin todmüde. Ich bin erschöpft. Expressions are self-explanatory. When you are supposed to use, you obviously know. Ich habe Hunger. Ich habe Hunger. I am hungry. Ich habe Durst. I am thirsty. Ich komme gleich. Ich komme gleich. I'll be there in a moment. I'll be there in a moment. Ich komme bald. Ich komme bald. I'll be there soon. I'll be there soon. Ich habe Hunger. Ich habe Durst. Ich komme gleich. Ich komme bald. Observe. In English we say I am hungry, I am thirsty. But in German, we don't say I am, I have hunger, I have thirst. Can you find that these expressions are almost nearby to Indian languages? Yes. Please be very cautious with such sort of differences. As all the while in all my episodes, I have been telling you people that German differs from English. Many times the expressions of German and English, they are entirely different. So when you learn the language, learn these differences very carefully. Some more expressions for you. Lass mich in Ruhe. Lass mich in Ruhe. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Ich komme bis 9 Uhr zurück. Ich komme bis 9 Uhr zurück. I'll be back by 9 o'clock. I'll be back by 9 o'clock. Hat jemand nach mir gefragt? Hat jemand nach mir gefragt? Has anyone asked for me? Has anyone asked for me? Lass mich in Ruhe. Ich komme bis 9 Uhr zurück. Hat jemand nach mir gefragt? We had done about time quite a long time ago in one of the episodes. So time can be replaced. Whatever time you want to specify over there, you can specify. And the other expressions. Some more for you. Wie lange warten Sie schon? Wie lange warten Sie schon? How long have you been waiting? How long have you been waiting? Ich warte schon eine Stunde. Ich warte schon eine Stunde. I have been already waiting for an hour. I have been already waiting for an hour. Wie lange warten Sie schon? Wie lange warten Sie schon? Ich warte schon eine Stunde. Ich warte schon eine Stunde. Now let us move on to the next segment of today, that is kennenlernen. Kennenlernen. What is kennenlernen? To get acquainted with each other. So when you want to make friends, what are the things probably which can come? So some of them I have picked up and brought to you over here, like Was bist du von Beruf? Was bist du von Beruf? What are you by profession? What are you by profession? Ich bin Ingenieur. Ich bin Ingenieur. I am an engineer. I am an engineer. Ich bin Lehrer. Ich bin Lehrer. I am a teacher. I am a teacher. Ich bin Ärztin. Ich bin Ärztin. I am a doctor. A lady doctor is precise. Was bist du von Beruf? Ich bin Ingenieur. Ich bin Lehrer. Ich bin Ärztin. Remember that in English you need to use this a or an, the articles. But in German, you should not use a or an in front of a profession. Engineer or a teacher or a doctor, even for a student also, though it is not a profession, you are not supposed to use the article, a or an. In German, ein, einer. Remember, in some previous episode, we had even discussed about these things. Further, was magst du beruflich? Was magst du beruflich? The translation what I am giving is nearby to it, please. It's not the exact translation. What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Truly speaking, it's not the exact translation, it's a nearby translation. Some of the expressions sometimes in any language for that matter cannot be translated exactly always into the other language. So what do you do for a living? Ich arbeite in der Computerfiliale. Ich arbeite in der Computerfiliale. I work in the computer branch or the computer department. Ich arbeite als Pilot. Ich arbeite als Pilot. I work as a pilot. I work as a pilot. So, was magst du beruflich? Ich arbeite in der Computerfiliale. Ich arbeite als Pilot. Gefällt dir deine Arbeit? Remember in the previous episode also, when we were speaking about some general expressions, I had used this gefällt. Gefallen is to like. So, gefällt dir deine Arbeit? Do you like your job? Do you like your job? Ja, es macht Spaß. Ja, es macht Spaß. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it's fun. Nein, eigentlich nicht. Sie ist langweilig. Nein, eigentlich nicht. Sie ist langweilig. No, not really. It is boring. No, not really. It's boring. Gefällt dir deine Arbeit? Do you like your work? Ja, es macht Spaß. Yes, it is fun. Nein, eigentlich nicht. Sie ist langweilig. No, not really. It's boring. So these expressions, es macht Spaß, sie ist langweilig, they can be used even in for other situations also. So somewhere you have fun, you like it like anything, then you can use it. Es macht Spaß. Or it's something is boring, it's not interesting for you, then you can say langweilig. Langweilig. Earlier in one of the episodes we discussed about adjectives. But as I had told in the previous episode also, and once again I repeat the very same, that we are trying to bring you some of the language. It's not the complete total of it. As it's only an introduction to this language that we are bringing over here, we are trying to put in some things. Anyway, in further one of the episodes, I will also tell you about what you require actually when you go to Germany. Over there, I'll be discussing one more point about language learning. Further with this topic, was für your hobbies hast du? Was für your hobbies hast du? The nearest translation, what hobbies do you have? Or what sort of hobbies do you have? Then the answers which I have brought, ich reise gern. Ich reise gern. I like traveling. I like traveling. Ich gehe gerne wandern. Ich gehe gerne wandern. I like hiking. I like hiking. Ich höre gerne Musik. Ich höre gerne Musik. I like listening to music. I like listening to music. Gern individually would mean gladly. Okay. But when you take it in a sentence, obviously it amalgamates with the sentence, it mixes up with it, and a different meaning is given. So, these expressions, was für your hobbies hast du? Was für your hobbies hast du? Ich reise gern. Ich reise gern. Ich gehe gerne wandern. Ich gehe gerne wandern. Ich höre Musik. Ich höre Musik. Now, when it comes to music, what sort of music do you hear? So, was hörst du gern? What do you like to listen? What do you listen gladly? Ich mag fast alles. Ich mag fast alles. I almost like everything. I almost like everything. Obviously, these answers or these questions, whatever I am showing you, they are with a point of view from my side. So, when it individually, they may differ. Now, for example, for this one, you may be liking a certain sort of a music. Maybe it is jazz, maybe it is classical or pop, whatever it is. So, obviously, your answers will differ over there. Then, treibst du gern Sport? Treibst du gern Sport? Do you participate in sports? Ich spiele gern Tennis. Ich spiele gern Tennis. I gladly play tennis. I gladly play tennis. As I told you in the previous slide, gern would mean gladly. So, was hörst du gern? Was hörst du gern? Ich mag fast alles. Ich mag fast alles. Treibst du gern Sport? Treibst du gern Sport? Ich spiele gern Tennis. Ich spiele gern Tennis. So now let us move on to the third segment of today, that is in their classroom. In a classroom, the teacher and the student, when they are talking, they have some standard expressions. So, keeping in view those standard expressions, I have brought them over here. Once again, when you are in a class, when you are attending a class, you can use these expressions with your teacher, and your teacher also may be using these expressions with you. So let us see what they are. So the expressions which I brought for you today are: das ist schwer. Das ist schwer. That is hard. That is difficult. In fact, schwer also has a meaning heavy, but in this condition, in this context, I can't use that meaning of heavy. So, das ist schwer, that is difficult, that is hard. This is leicht. Leicht, easy, simple. So, that is easy. Now, simple also has, das ist einfach. Das ist einfach, that is simple. Das ist schwer, das ist schwer, das ist leicht, das ist leicht, das ist einfach, das ist einfach. Then, continuing with these ones. Bitter, 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧. Bitter, 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧. Once again, please. Once again, please. So sometimes when a student does not understand something, bitter 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 can be used, or even the teacher also sometimes may say, want someone to repeat that. So bitter 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧. Even sometimes 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 also can be used. 𝗵𝗵𝗕𝗄𝗃. 𝗵𝗵𝗕𝗄𝗃. Please repeat. Please repeat. 𝗵𝗵𝗕𝗄𝗃, thus 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧. Guess? Yes. Please repeat that again or once again. So, bitter 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧, 𝗵𝗵𝗕𝗄𝗃, 𝗵𝗵𝗕𝗄𝗃, thus 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧. Then some other expressions which may come up in the class. Once again, I have whatever had come to my mind I have brought over here. So let us see what they are. Wer möchte beginnen? Wer möchte beginnen? Who would like to start? Who would like to begin? Wer möchte beginnen? Who would like to begin? Who would like to start? Bitte lesen Sie den Text vor. Bitte lesen Sie den Text vor. Please read the text aloud. Please read the text aloud. For actually does not mean aloud, but for is a part of the verb vorlesen. It's a separable verb. Remember, as I was speaking a few seconds ago, we are giving you an introduction to this language. We have not brought all the aspects before you. Because to learn all the aspects, it definitely takes quite some time. So this falls under a concept which we call as separable verbs, which is there in German and which is also there in some other languages like Sanskrit. Bitte antworten Sie mir. Bitte antworten Sie mir. Please answer me. Please answer me. Wer möchte beginnen? Wer möchte beginnen? Bitte lesen Sie den Text vor. Bitte lesen Sie den Text vor. Bitte antworten Sie mir. Bitte antworten Sie mir. So beginnen, be should be the way how you use the be. Some more expressions. Ich habe das verstanden. Ich habe das verstanden. I understood that. I understood that. Ich habe das nicht verstanden. Ich habe das nicht verstanden. I did not understand that. I didn't understand that. Now, in one of the previous episodes, when I was speaking about nicht, you saw that the word nicht was placed at the end of the sentence. But over here, it is placed before verstanden. So, truly speaking, nicht cannot be always placed at the end of the sentence. Sometimes it has to be placed before a noun, before a preposition, before an adverb, an adjective. It depends upon that particular sentence. Okay? Then, können Sie bitte noch einmal erklären? Können Sie bitte das noch einmal erklären? Can you explain that once again? Can you explain that once again? Ich habe das verstanden. Ich habe das verstanden. Ich habe das nicht verstanden. Ich habe das nicht verstanden. Können Sie das noch einmal erklären? Können Sie das noch einmal erklären? Further. Ich habe damit Probleme. Ich habe damit Probleme. I have problems with this. Maybe some mathematical problem, or maybe some concept of a language, or some theory of a particular subject. You may be having problems. So, 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 Ich muss dringend gehen. Ich muss dringend gehen. I must go urgently. Dringend meaning urgently. Ich muss dringend gehen. Morgen werde ich Ihnen meine Aufgabe zeigen. Morgen werde ich Ihnen meine Aufgabe zeigen. I'll show you my assignment tomorrow. I'll show you my assignment tomorrow. Ich habe damit Probleme. Ich habe damit Probleme. Ich muss dringend gehen. Ich muss dringend gehen. Morgen werde ich Ihnen meine Aufgabe zeigen. Morgen werde ich Ihnen meine Aufgabe zeigen. So, when you observe the last sentence, morgen, which is supposed to be tomorrow, is written with a capital letter because it is the beginning of the statement, beginning of the sentence. And it's written in the beginning itself. Whereas in English, you find that the word tomorrow is at the end of the sentence. Such sort of differences, please make a note of them. Please try to understand and inculcate and use them. Then, ich habe einen Zweifel. Ich habe einen Zweifel. I have a doubt. I have a doubt. So whenever you have a doubt, you can either just simply say Zweifel, Zweifel bitte, or einen Zweifel, or ich habe einen Zweifel. I try to bring in sentences also because when you are learning the language, you should learn along with the complete sentences. Ich habe Zweifel. I have doubts. So, what is the difference between both the sentences? The same spelling Zweifel you see. In the first sentence, it is used with the sense of singular. And in the second sentence, it is used with the sense of plural. Because that word Zweifel has no separate plural. That is it. Same word is used. So, Zweifel in general would mean doubt or doubts. It depends upon how you are using it. Then, going further, ich habe keine Zweifel. Ich habe keine Zweifel. I have no doubts. I have no doubts. So, ich habe einen Zweifel. Ich habe einen Zweifel. Ich habe Zweifel. Ich habe Zweifel. Ich habe keine Zweifel. Ich habe keine Zweifel. Zweifel, as I was telling you, is a word, a noun, which falls under masculine. It's a masculine noun. That's why einen Zweifel is used. So once again, refer back to one of the grammar where we were discussing about cases. In the cases, this falls under the accusative because the verb haben is accusative. Well, that also reminds me that further in the episodes, I don't want to go more upon the grammar points because the basic grammar we have discussed till our previous episodes. So in the following episodes, some more expressions like this. I would also, as I had told you in the previous episodes, I'll bring you some short stories, some dialogues also along with such sort of expressions. So once again, ich habe einen Zweifel. Ich habe Zweifel. Ich habe keine Zweifel. So, what did we learn in this episode? We learned some general expressions, part 2, which was continuing from the previous episode. So, what did we learn in this lesson? We had learned about some general expressions, which was in continuation with the previous lesson. Then we had also learned about getting acquainted and in the class. So as I had mentioned, some of the general expressions which I had taken for you, they are in different various situations they can be used. But according to the situation, please choose the expression. You may have to sometimes make some changes for them also. Then when it comes to the next segment which we had done in this particular episode, kennenlernen, getting acquainted. Getting acquainted is a very important aspect, especially when you go to Germany, because you are a foreigner over there. You need to get acquainted with the native people so that you can get to know many things about their culture, about their traditions. Not only about culture and traditions, about the general things like you want to find out an address, you need to talk in German. You need to express yourself in German so that they would respond to you. The expressions which I have taken, they are only just about making friends. So that's how I had taken those expressions for you. And in the final segment which we have seen today, in their class, I had taken some expressions which generally happen between a teacher and a student. So try to understand these expressions, try to learn them, and I hope that the learning process is going very well. So thank you very much for your attention. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Guten Abend und auf Wiedersehen. Thank you.